We finally made it, guys. We have finally made it. It is game week. Your Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime take on the TCU Horned Frogs this week. We've been waiting 6 months to say that. Again, if you're new to the channel or if you've seen some of our videos, we just started this channel 6 months ago. We've never been able to be with you guys through a season. Well, obviously, Coach Prime has neither, but we are finally going to see that this week. We're doing something different for our season preview today. Listen, I hate season previews that take 30 minutes to explain things or have this big synopsis, but we're getting right into it today. What we're doing with our season preview might be different. Let us know what you think about it in the comments. Maybe we'll do something different next year if you guys hate it, but everybody does the same thing. We're doing something different. We're ranking the schedule from easiest to toughest this year. There is so much unknown about this Colorado Buffaloes team. Granted, they got about 50 players out of the portal. They got about 70 new players overall. Until we see it, it's really hard to know about this team. But what we do know, we know a lot about the teams that they're going to be taking on this year. No team had as much turnover as Colorado did this year. Every team in the country, all 132 of the other FBS Division I teams, had less turnover. So we at least know that. So we're going to tell you a little bit about those teams today. Let us know down in the comments. Are you going to any games? Are you excited to be there in person? I'm still trying to figure out schedules and stuff, but I'm trying my best to see a game. What's tough is I live on the East Coast and everybody else is out there playing on the West Coast, but I would love to see a game in person. Let us know if you're going to anything this year. All right, let's jump right into it. First up, we've got Colorado State as the easiest opponent. We're going to play them September 16th, so we're going to get to see this game early. Listen, they didn't play Colorado last year. They went 3-9. They weren't very good either, just kind of like us. I think that this is a game that Colorado is going to have a lot of success in. They're going to be able to out-talent Colorado State, and they certainly better be able to because, again, I have this as the easiest game on the schedule. If you don't take care of business against your rival, against this one, things could get kind of hairy, but I think they will. What worries us the most about this game? Well, Jay Norvell has had a year head start on Coach Prime, and he's returning quarterback Clay Millen. And that quarterback should mature some, and I think that could present some problems, but we should be able to take advantage with the talent disparity. Coach Prime's transfer haul, the recruiting class, we expect Coach Prime to make pretty easy work of this team, and I think we get the win in this one. Next up on the schedule is Arizona State. This was a close game last year. Arizona State's unranked. They went 3-9 last year. They have a new coach as well. Actually, one of my guys, Kenny Dillingham, over there at Arizona State. Last year, they went 3-9, so they weren't very good either. They got a new head coach, as we just mentioned. And this was a close game. It was a one-score game. Arizona State won 42-34. What worries us the most in this game is Jaden Rashada's mobility. He's a true freshman quarterback, though, and Kenny Dillingham does a great job of being able to scheme around mobile quarterbacks. He did a great job of that at his last stop at FSU. Where are we able to take advantage, though? It's a new coach. It's a new system. It's a new QB. Kenny Dillingham brought in Rashada to build the team around, but they finished number 15 in the transfer portal, whereas Colorado finished number 1. I think that Colorado still has more talent than Arizona State, and even though they lost that last year, I still think the Buffaloes have a great chance to get another win against Arizona State. Number 3 is later in the year, November 11th against unranked Arizona. Last year's score, well, Colorado lost this 43-20. Arizona went 5-7, and what worries us the most in this game is that junior returning quarterback Jaden DeLora, he's put up some pretty impressive numbers in prior years. He threw for almost 50 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons. But Arizona, another team with a new head coach in a new system, and they're starting on an even plane with Colorado. Except, as you've heard before, Colorado cleaned up in the transfer portal with the number 1 class, and they should have a competitive advantage here. I really like the Buffalo's talent, and I think they'll be able to take advantage of Arizona in this matchup. Next up, let's head to a team that Colorado didn't play last year, and that would be unranked Stanford. That's October 13th, so you're talking middle of the season. Last year, they went 3-9, and I think that Colorado can take an advantage here. Again, you've heard this before, new coach, new system, very few returning starters, and this team is starting in a similar place to Colorado. But what we continue to say, Nobody has the talent that Colorado has. These all teams all have new coaches, new systems, rebuilds. They weren't very good, but they don't have the talent. They don't have some of the guys that we've mentioned in other videos. I don't want to say anyone's name because every time I do, you guys yell at me for leaving this guy out. I can't list all 70 guys, y'all. But I think Colorado can take advantage here as well against Stanford. What about my fifth most toughest game? Fifth easiest game, I guess we're going that way. Nebraska. Now, Colorado didn't play Nebraska last year, but they weren't very good either. They went 4-8, got a new head coach. We've now played how many teams in a row with a new head coach? I think that people are underselling this schedule when they tell you that Colorado's only going to win 1 or 2 games. Colorado's on an even playing field with a lot of these teams. This old rivalry, this is the game that I'm excited for TCU because it's week 1, but this is the game that I'm excited about. This old bitter rivalry against Nebraska. I am so jacked for it. Last year they went 4-8. I will tell you, Matt Rule's a good coach, and Jeff Sims' mobility worries me as well. I've seen him a ton at Georgia Tech. He's a good player, and he does worry me. Where do we take advantage? Again, you're playing early in the year before they've really had their chance to gel. Now, that could be said about Colorado as well, but again, both teams going in similar directions. I think that Coach Prime is on the upward trend. I think that Matt Rule's on the upward trend. I think that both teams are going to find their footing back in national relevance. It's been a long time since Colorado was relevant. It's been a long time since Nebraska was relevant in college football. That all starts to turn starting with these two coaches. I think this is going to be a phenomenal game, a phenomenal matchup. I think that Colorado can do some work here, can take advantage of it, and potentially get this win. But Coach Prime is going to have to out-coach Rule. Rule's really, really good. Can he do it? I think so. I think Colorado probably has the slight edge in top-end talent. Nebraska may have a little more depth on the back end, but I think this is the chance where you can absolutely take advantage. And we'll see kind of who comes out and how this all shakes out. Next up on November 17th, you play against unranked Washington State. Now, Colorado didn't play Washington State last year. Last year, they were just a little above 500. They went 7-6. What worries me the most here is their head coach, Jake Dykert, is in his second year and has a decent amount of returning starters. They're very experienced in playing together. Also, they're going to be desperate because they're playing to try and find that they deserve a spot in the Power 5. And you know the controversy with the Pac-12 and it falling apart and everything else. I think this is a team that's going to be desperate. I think they're going to be playing motivated. But where can Colorado take advantage here? Well, probably have a bit of a talent advantage with the transfer hall, which they'll need to leverage against all that returning experience. I think that that is a classic battle of what wins out, just pure talent, or does the returning experience, the veteran-laden team win out? This is an opportunity that Colorado has for another win on the road at Washington State. Not necessarily an easy place to play that late in the year, but Colorado's used to the weather. This is not the Southeast where I live. They'll be fine. This is a big chance for Colorado to pick up a win on the road. Next up, October 28th, the 7th easiest. We're getting into the harder games to me. This is against UCLA. This is Halloween weekend. Weird things always happen on Halloween weekend. Colorado wasn't competitive in this game last year. Lost 45-17. Expect that to be a lot better. Chip Kelly's doing a good job out there. Last year they were 9-4. This is what worries me the most. He's improved UCLA just about every year that he's been there. If he continues that upward trend, if he continues to improve with them, this is going to be a tough game. But Colorado has an advantage in certain places. UCLA is going to be starting a new quarterback who has yet to be named at the time of this video. This is Sunday. We'll see if he names it in a couple hours after I record it. Colorado is going to have to take advantage of some mistakes with this new quarterback. They're going to need their D-line to show up and show out to slow down that high-flying offense. I expect a lot of points in this game, and I think that this is a place where Colorado is going to need some breaks to go their way. You're getting them at home. That's a huge help. Hopefully that's a night game and sellout crowd, all the above. This is where I think Colorado is going to need to take advantage of their defensive line, the pressure, getting after a quarterback who, again, hasn't been named. What can they do there? Next up, all right, it's our opener. We're getting this one on Saturday, boys. I cannot wait to see them play number 17 TCU. Last year, Colorado lost 38-13. You know that TCU went on to, well, they didn't win the Big 12, but they went on to the college football playoff. They won the regular season Big 12 title. What worries us the most here is TCU has already had a high-powered offense, and they're bringing in a coordinator who is known for building high-powered offenses, Kendall Briles. Briles may have a rough resume, but he's also had some bad luck in his career, landing under Willie Taggart during his time at FSU and trying to recover at Arkansas. Where are we able to take advantage? Well, TCU lost one of the best offensive coordinators in the country. They lost a ton of senior talent and a bunch of talent to the NFL. And next year's team will be far less experienced. All of these changes make things look like they might be on a little bit more of an even plane. I like TCU this season. I think they're going to rebound well, but I like Colorado against the spread here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Colorado can't win, but I think the people saying that TCU just absolutely blows the doors off of Coach Prime and beats the heck out of this team, I think they're wrong. Too much talent on this Colorado team. I like this to be a very high-scoring game. We're going to do a full-on TCU preview later in the week, so make sure you're subscribed. Maybe we'll do that live. Shoot me a comment down below. Let me know if you want me to do that live or not, or if you want me to pre-record it like this video. Either way is fine. We'll get you some of that content as we go. But TCU, probably the 8th easiest. What would that be? The 5th toughest game of the schedule. All right, next up is another one that I am really looking forward to. This one is Oregon State. They had a good year last year. They went 10-3. They beat the doors off of us last year. Let's not even front. 42-9. Again, Oregon State's head coach, Jonathan Smith, this is what worries me the most, is in his 5th year and has systematically improved this team. Their offense has several returning starters, and they're poised to take a major step up. But where we can take advantage is against their defense. It was very lackluster. They lost several key players and likely will have to take a step backward. Colorado is going to need to put points up in this game, but they absolutely can. If they can score, they can stay in it. The game's at home. They can try and find a way to get a win against a ranked team. Oregon State going to start this year ranked number 18 in the country. All right, let's keep it going. The 10th easiest game, or the 3rd toughest, will be against Oregon State's rival, September 23rd. We're going to see this early in the year on the road at Oregon. Last year, Colorado lost this game 49-10. And Oregon was really good, 10-3. What worries us most is Dan Lanning has proved to be a decent coach in his first year, and he turned around a team and really kept them going with a lot of talent. This is going to be a tough game. There are no bones about it. We're not going to lie to you or sugarcoat things or anything like that. But Oregon did lose their offensive coordinator, Kenny Dillingham, and getting them early in the year is probably a good thing. So Colorado has to take advantage of playing up against a new offensive coordinator, Will Stein, who has way less experience than Kenny did. And I think that's somewhere that if Colorado's offense can start to click early in the year, they can take advantage going forward. All right, 2nd toughest game of the year. These are the Pac-12 champs, man. Utah, number 14. They start this Thursday against Florida, so make sure you're tuned in to watch that. I think it's early scouting that you want to see. We don't play them until a lot later in the year, November 25th, but see how they look in this opener. Last year, Colorado lost this game 63-21, put up some decent points, but just could not keep up with that Utah offense. They were 10-4 last year. They lost a couple of games they shouldn't have, but Kyle Whittingham is really, really good, and that's what worries us the most. They have a winning record for 9 straight years. Cam Rising is a great dual-threat QB who's put up big numbers several years in a row. But Utah didn't go to the transfer portal, and this is where I think we can take advantage. They definitely lost some talent, and you have to hope that your players play up against big-time teams like this. You got to hope Shedeur Sanders has a very clean game and maybe a few bounces go your way. They're going to have a talent advantage in some places, but you're going to have to play up. You're going to have to go on the road, and it's rivalry weekend. It's the last weekend of the year. You're going to have to shock some people. Is it impossible? Absolutely not. You got to go out there and get it done, but I'm excited to go to Utah and see what that looks like. And then last but not least, probably the toughest game on the schedule, I don't think anybody would deny this, is number 6 USC. Now, they're really good. Last year, we lost 55-17. They went 11-3. What worries us most here is they've probably got the best player in the country, the returning Heisman Trophy winner, Caleb Williams. They've got one of the best coaches in college football. And if you watched them last night, they've got some ridiculous talent on that team. One of the best offenses in college football. They'll probably be number 1. Other than Georgia and Alabama, this might be the most talented team in the nation. Where do we take advantage? I'm making it sound daunting, ain't I? Well, you got to line up and you got to play this thing. You're getting them early in the year, and I think that's helpful. September 30th at home. You're going to need Shedeur to continue growing and take a step up in this game. He's going to need to have one of those games, and he's going to need to play like a Heisman contender. He's going to need to play like the Heisman contender he's competing against to keep us in this game. USC is great, and I would probably take them over most teams in the country, maybe outside of Georgia, Alabama, Florida State, maybe. I think USC is really, really good. They've got a chance to go to the playoff, and they've got a chance to have the first repeat Heisman winner in 30-something years, 40 years. Can they get it done? It's going to be tough against them. But if Shedeur steps up, if Shedeur does work, I could see it happening. You're probably going to need Travis Hunter to score a touchdown on offense and defense, make some things go your way. But USC is the toughest team on this schedule to me. All right, so there you have it. Those are my schedule rankings. How do we end up doing? How does Colorado look this year? How does it all shake out? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you going to any games? Are you hyped for anything? How's all that looking for your season? Listen, do not miss out on the content we've got coming this year. We've seen a lot of growth on this channel. We want to hit 5,000 subs, so help us by hitting that button. Let's get there. Let's get there by Thursday. Let's get there by Saturday. Let's get there by the time we kick off against TCU. Appreciate you guys, as always, for joining us. Excited for what's coming. Something Deion Sanders and Coach Prime himself was not excited about happened this last week. If you missed that, you can click right here to check it out.